2022 is slowly coming to its end, and the start of the new year is getting closer. If you wonder how you can make 2023 your best year yet, then this video is for you. Join me as we explore 7 questions that will help you in setting yourself up for not only a successful, but also a deeply meaningful year ahead. This video is an invitation to take some time to reflect for yourself about where you want to go, what you would like to experience along the way, and it will also help you in defining strategies to get you there. And while this channel normally focuses on leadership and career advice, we today take a bit of a more holistic approach because work and life just don't happen in isolation. And one of the keys for a successful life is indeed to integrate our professional as well as our personal lives. So let's see how we can do that. Let's get started with question number 1. What am I grateful for? Take a step back and think about the last year and everything that you've encountered that made you smile or help you to grow and learn. Some of these experiences and moments will be very obvious, like the very well-deserved summer vacation or promotion. Others are so small they might remain hidden in day-to-day moments. The things we often take for granted, like the warmth of the sunlight, the smile of a beloved person, or a kind word when you need it most. Take inventory and write down everything that comes to your mind. If you're up for a challenge, you might want to define 22 highlights of 2022. It's actually a great way to review the last year and to experience a deep sense of gratitude. A positive emotion that helps you not only in living a happier, more fulfilled life, but also in becoming much more resourceful and resilient as we step into the new year. And as you continue your reflections, you might want to ask yourself, how could I become more intentional in creating these kind of experiences for myself as well as for others? And to whom would I like to express my gratitude to? And how could I do that? With question number 2, I would like to invite you to enter the growth zone. Spend some time to reflect on past experiences, wins, successes, accomplishments, as well as losses, failures and disappointments, to distill key learnings and to turn these into your success guidelines for the upcoming year. If you think about 2022, what accomplishments and successes come to your mind? Think broadly and go beyond the big obvious wins, and also celebrate the small steps you took that help you to move forward in important areas of your life. Then take a moment to notice what went well and to truly feel good about it. Let it sink in and integrate it into the picture you have about yourself. Then remember the times when you maybe disappointed yourself or others and you weren't happy with the actions or inactions and the results of these. Now, instead of attaching yourself to these experiences, just take a moment to reflect, be honest with yourself, and become aware of the dynamics that were at play. And while it might be very tempting, don't dwell on past disappointments for too long. Look at them as a place to be learned from, not lived in. And this brings us actually to question number 2, which is, what can I learn from past wins and losses? Life is a classroom and there are so many lessons offered to us each and every day. Too often we let them pass by unnoticed instead of becoming aware, integrating and proactively using them to steer our direction and thrive in the new year. Don't let this happen to you. Instead, write down all of these lessons you can think of. What recipes for success can you derive from your wins? And what are lessons learned from past disappointments? Then review the list and ask yourself what difference each of these lessons, if integrated, could make to you, your life, family, career, or business. Which ones would contribute the most to your success? Pick those which resonate the most, turn them into your personal success guidelines for the upcoming year, and decide how you could best put them into practice and make them part of your life as we enter 2023. And then execute one step at a time. As we turn to question number 3, you might wonder why we haven't spoken about goal setting for the new year at all. We'll get there, I promise. But before, I would like to invite you to ask yourself one, from my point of view, even more important question that we should ask ourselves regularly on our way to a happier, more fulfilled and successful life. And that question is, what do I actually want to experience along the way? In life, we often focus on achieving a particular goal, fueled by our hope that when I achieve this, for example, a promotion, a wedding, and around the world trip, well then, life will be good and I will be happy. But when we actually get there, we realize something is still missing, and that after a short moment of celebration, life unfortunately still feels a bit off. I believe that living a successful and fulfilled life is not so much about achieving a particular goal, but more about being in alignment with what truly matters to us. Being in alignment means that we are aware of our values, honor them, and use them as a compass to guide our decision and determine our past. How to find your core values and live by them? Here's a 4-step process. Step 1. Use the following questions to identify your values. What's important to you? What do you care about? What do you want in your life? Or what makes you crazy, frustrated, or angry? What value is being violated? If you would like to seek some inspiration, have a look at this list. Just pause the video for a moment and of course feel free to add any value that comes to your mind. Step 2. Well then decide on the core values that are most important to you, those that you do not want to compromise on. Step 3. On a scale from 1 to 10, how aligned are you with regard to each of these values? What could you do to be more aligned? And then finally, step 4. Consistently favor choices that align with what matters most to you. And as you do so, you will experience how aligned actions will fuel your sense of pure success and fulfillment. And now we're finally there. Let's do some goal setting for the new year. 2023 is around the corner, and with question number 4, I would like to invite you to take a step back and take a truly holistic view of your life to paint a picture of your ideal 2023. How? Well, think about the different areas in your life. Some examples could be career, love, family, friendship, health, personal development, hobbies. And once you've completed this list, ask yourself for each of these areas, how satisfied am I right now with what I experience in this particular area of my life? Assign a value between 1 and 10, with 10 being the best possible scenario. As you look at the results of your life assessment, what do you realize? If you don't like what you see, simply consider it to be a signal to reconsider priorities and to set goals that will lead you to your ideal 2023. On which areas would you like to focus on more or less? What changes would you like to make and why are those important to you? How would these changes affect your overall life satisfaction? Based on these conclusions, what top 3 to 5 goals would you like to set for yourself? Spend some time to make these goals not only meaningful, but also actionable and achievable. Create a strategy to back up your goals and make sure it's you who is in control of achieving those. As we turn to question number 5, let's be inspired by a quote of one of the most inspirational and impactful leaders of our times, Nelson Mandela, who famously said that what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we led. Now, with question number 4, we started to look into goal setting for a successful 2023. I now would like to invite you to expand your list of goals and to ask yourself, what impact do you seek to create? Whose life would you like to touch in 2023 and in which way? What contributions would you like to make to your family, community, to your team and or the organizations that you serve? How could you help somebody to grow, learn and to tap into his or her potential? And how could you make your workplace a happier place and create a positive impact for those you lead and serve? Stephen Covey once said that the key to life is not accumulation, but contribution. What will be yours in 2023? Now that you have defined how a successful life and career would look like for you, the question is, how can we actually get there? Although it is very tempting, relying on wishful or positive thinking alone unfortunately won't get us there. Having a sound plan will definitely help, but it's only part of the equation. In order to achieve our goals, we have to move from planning to doing. Execution is key. And oftentimes, a change in our behavior is a prerequisite. Typically, well, that's easier said than done. As we live in a world full of temptations and distractions, relying on our willpower to do things differently is usually not the most promising solution. Neither is waiting for an epiphany. But what if instead we ask ourselves question number 6, and that is, what habits would I like to develop? The far majority of the successes that we see happening around us are not the result of one earth-shattering action or a once-in-a-lifetime transformation. On the contrary, the results that we get, the successes or the lack thereof, are more often than not a culmination of the same actions done consistently over time. And as we do the same thing over and over and over again, we form habits that then become the building blocks of our success. So, which habit would you like to develop that would help you in achieving your goals? Once you have defined those habits, I would like to recommend that you go one step further. Think about potential triggers that could cause you to detour. Become aware of those triggers and the impulse and behavior behavior they cause. From there, realize that between a trigger and an action that there's room for you to choose. How could you respond to the trigger in such a way that it would direct you towards a new habit that you seek to develop? Think about ways to make these new habits obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying for you to follow through. And if you would like to learn more about how to create habits that stick, have a look at this video where we explore the power of atomic habits and how to use them to your advantage. As we went through the previous 6 questions, you had the opportunity to think about your goals for 2023 and to ask yourself what you would like to experience now and in the future. Whatever you aim to achieve, your success will in most cases not only depend on your capabilities and a disciplined effort, it will also, and to a large extent, be a function of your beliefs about yourself, who you are and what you're capable of. And this brings us to the final question, which is, what vision do you have for yourself? Who are you? And even more importantly, who do you seek to become? One of the most important human drives is our drive for consistency and congruence. What we think, do or say is mainly driven by the view that we have of ourselves. The likelihood of successfully introducing new habits to our lives significantly increases the moment that the new behavior aligns with our vision of who we are. So take a moment to think this through. How would you describe yourself? To which extent is the picture that you are painting in alignment with your goals and ambitions? If you, for example, plan to launch a new business, then seeing yourself as a courageous and capable entrepreneur and lifelong learner would surely help. If you want to focus on strengthening the most important relationships in your life, seeing yourself as a caring spouse, a loving parent, curious and thoughtful friend or colleague would definitely be beneficial. We all put labels on ourselves. They can actually limit us, but they also have the power to strengthen and enable us. As always, the choice is ours, so let's choose wisely. Thanks so much for watching. To your success in 2023 and beyond, Sabine.